to share this conversation today with Marcell and Doug. So I'm Mark Hamill, chairman of the Virtual Advisory Board. Delighted to kind of get some shared stories from two incredible entrepreneurs today. Doug, would you say a quick hello? Then we'll pass over to Marcell, and then we'll go into the questions for a quick introduction. But really grateful for giving me the time today. Thank you again.
Well, hello. Thanks for having us. Would you like me to give you a little bit of my background, or?
Yeah, please, Doug. A little bit on yourself and the business. That's perfect.
Sure. All right. So I'm a YPOer from Illinois in the U.S. Originally from Champaign, just a couple hours south of Chicago, and my business is student housing, which is essentially just multifamily near college campuses with a little bit of a few differences. And I've been running this particular company since 2016. We've grown from essentially 0 to about 4,000 beds under management. And we partner with private equity, family offices, institutional capital, that kind of thing to scale our business. Our struggles have always been, finding good deals and more than that, finding equity to capitalize those deals. And so that was kind of the focus for us when searching for a board.
Fantastic. Thanks, Doug. Marcell, just a quick introduction from News.
Sure.
Nice.
Mark, of course. Close to Düsseldorf, Germany, I'm located. I'm part of the European One chapter, which, Mark, you know quite well. And I'm from, let's call it design audio industry. We make sound look beautiful by creating design audio systems that sound as good as they look. And we try to make people happy through music because it's the most wonderful thing people ever created or humankind ever created. So we try to put it into a beautiful appearance. And so this has been, I have been with YPO for 10 years, this company almost 18 years now. So it has been a journey, definitely. Lots to talk about, and happy to hear, Doug, about your story as well, obviously.
Amazing. Thanks, Marcell. So the question I keep getting, guys, is a little bit on, what was that moment when you felt, look, I probably could do with some help. I'm hearing an advisory board is a good idea. What was that moment? What were those challenges? And then maybe share a little bit on the impact the advisors have kind of brought to your decision-making, business challenges, etc. Doug, if you're okay to share.
Yeah, so I think I had attended some advisory board workshops through YPO years and years ago. And it seemed like it was a good idea. There's really not a lot of downside to it. The way it was described to me at that point was it's really like cheap consulting for the CEO of a company. The people that you get you couldn't really hire them to help you advise your company. The fact that they get to be advisors is really their way of giving back some of their expertise that they've learned over the years. And they want to help people that can be helped. So there's a little bit of a dating process, but for me, it was really just about my company being ready, I thought, to take advantage of the board. And so once we got to that point, at least I thought we were as close as we were going to get. I tried to pull the trigger and then the next question is who goes on the board, right? You don't want to waste your time with people that really shouldn't be there or aren't interested. So that was a light bulb, as close to a light bulb as I got.
And Doug, talk a little bit about the impact the guys have made, deciding between 1, 2, or 3, and what they've kind of brought to the decision making process, or like you said, that cheap advice for the CEO.
Yeah, so I think the impact. A lot of it is just around confidence, right? You roll in there with some very sophisticated people that have done it before, and you can speak about your vision and your goals, and they ask some questions and they say, okay, it makes sense. You have a nice little business. And you're like, okay, great. I have a nice little business. Great. This is awesome. And then it helps with the people. I think getting alignment in your company, really having a clear vision and the right people in the right seats. And, if a key staff member leaves, okay, lace up. They know what to do. They know how to pull that person back. And so again, it just gives you a lot more confidence in executing your plan.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing, Doug. Marcell, from your side, just that moment you got to, and then just a little bit on the impact the advisors have brought.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's a saying, it's lonely at the top, as we all know, and being an entrepreneur, CEO, there's not everything you can share with everybody. And I think my advisory team, they are fantastic sparring partners. So there are sometimes you have your personal agenda. You might look at, am I maybe thinking about even exiting the company? Yeah, who are you going to talk about that? Or how do you set up a structure? What are some of the things that are feel urgent and you need to concentrate on, and you need somebody that pushes you to focus on these things. And as Doug says, to really get clear about what is your personal vision, what is it you want to achieve, either in personal life but also with your company, and having somebody that pushes you to really think about these important matters. Yeah, what's most important. That is really helpful. And then in my case, the board helps me to translate that also into the executive team. So I'm not the only one working with my advisors, but I have my executive team work with them as well. We have quarterly workshops where we get together and really discuss what is the next 3 months, so the quarterly milestones, in order to achieve the goal that Doug was talking about, to make certain within the next 12 to 18 months we have the outcome I'm aiming for. And it helped me a lot to be able to have somebody I trust to, more or less open my heart and soul and ideas. And they in this case, similar to YPO, they know what it means to have confidentiality, and that is a very, very important part of the process, I think.
Thanks, Marcell. And Doug, maybe a little bit on the hiring process, finding the right ones, a little bit on that voyage, and then just the kind of cadence and structure that you've got set up.
Sure. So the process was pretty simple. We signed up, I think it was a 1-page engagement letter, and started getting some candidates. I would screen them personally via Zoom for, I just have a few questions I wanted to ask them. I try to ask everybody the same questions, and then a little bit different than a typical hiring process, because these people are already very qualified and very impressive in their achievements. So then would after that, and make sure it's the right fit for me, would loop in my executive team and have some more conversations, and then narrow it down. I think we probably interviewed 6 or 7 people 2 or 3 times each.
Yeah.
And just narrowed it down to, we chose a 3-person board, or 3 advisors plus myself and my partner. So a 5-person board, and we meet quarterly, essentially 3 times in person, 1 time via Zoom per year is our plan. And we'll be in our 3rd meeting, which will be a Zoom meeting here in the next few weeks.
Fantastic. Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Marcell, same question.
Yeah, fascinating. Each conversation gave me some take-home value. So it's even the process of interviewing interesting individuals who have achieved a lot in lifetime. That is always eye-opening. Sometimes you feel there is a match. I mean, this is really important. There is nobody. I felt upset if you say at the end of the day, I don't know, something, it's not maybe filling the need I have, or with some you connect better than with others. So I felt no pressure to say, hey, this one journey, that one person that did not work out, but the other ones worked out. And again, it's each conversation I had gave me some take-home value. I really enjoyed that. That was really good, and helped me to identify also what is it I'm really looking for, because that's the important question. Where is the lack of certain skills or knowledge that, as Doug said, to hire somebody full-time in your company to fill that gap is a lot more expensive than having somebody. And sometimes we just need somebody that comes in, takes a bird's eye view, talks to you about it, and then you know already what needs to be done, and then go out again, and then you're on to the next one. So that really that whole process gave me a lot of learning as well along the journey.
Amazing. Thanks, Marcell. Yeah, you were very picky, Marcell. Doug was like, so cool, and you were such a nightmare. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well,
I was going to ask Doug, like,
you knew that beforehand.
I knew that before. Yeah.
Ask my
That's some
wife. Come on.
insider knowledge. Yeah, yeah. Doug, I was going to say on, you know, any entrepreneur who would come to you saying, look, should I do it? Should I not do it? What kind of quickly the pros and cons, like what you think, like getting engaged, set it up, like test it, try it, run it. What would you share with them?
I don't think there's a ton of downside. I mean, you're talking, I don't know, maybe a couple $100,000 a year of cost. And if that's, you think about what you'd spend with a consulting firm or whatever, this is probably money better spent. If you have a complicated enough business to justify that kind of expense, then I think there's really not a ton of downside, and lots of upside. I mean, I think they can open doors. They can again give you that confidence. They can help you with your people, help you with your alignment and your vision. And if you don't have a good alignment, good vision, you have a total mess in your company. So I think there's not a ton of downside other than the cost, which is pretty reasonable.
Thanks, Doug. Marcell, what advice or guidance would you give to anybody considering it or sitting on the fence?
Well, it's that advisor will not do the work for you. I mean, that is one advice. Hoping you get somebody on board and is going to solve your things and is going to do the overtime. No, it's more or less somebody that pushes you to dig deeper or to really think through it or challenge you. And I think it comes with more work at the end of the day, but the kind of work that is really necessary to go from good to great. I think that's the best way to put it. So these are the responsibilities we carry sometimes with so many things going on at the same time. Again, it helps you to focus, but also make certain that what you tackle is going to be in a quality that it leads you to the next level.
When my board members we said good to great, and they said no, great to best.
Nice.
So
nice.
I'm not there yet. So
well, that is a perfect ending for this conversation. Doug, thank you so much, and we'll see you in Chicago sometime soon in January. Marcell, it was great to see you so recently in London, and we'll see you. That was too long. That was too big a gap, and looking forward to seeing you soon as well. Guys, thank you so much for sharing. That's been just wonderful. Really grateful. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Doug, nice meeting you. Mark, as always.
Thanks, guys. Take care. All the best.
All the best. Bye-bye.